There's always a tween. Now that Obama's poll numbers are in tailspin, watch for him to launch a strike in Libya or Iran. He is so desperate. Tucker Carlson says Fox News is a propaganda network that manipulates their mostly elderly audience. So why did you work for them? 10 years ago today, Donald Trump announced his candidacy for president. Hit the like and subscribe button if you've opposed this dangerous clown since day one. Yeah, all these protests are great, but why didn't y'all vote for Kamala Harris on November 5th? Come on. What a powerful image. From Charlie Smiles Weird. This parade was so small it could have taken place in our Four Seasons Total Landscaping lawn. I promise y'all, marching in step is quite easy. Nothing difficult about it. That bad marching was intentional. I guarantee it. Yeah, I think I've seen better marching in cadets groups. The military has centuries of experience in how to show disrespect for a senior commander while technically obeying orders. Malicious compliance. No, malicious compliance. There's even a sub for it. RFK Jr. is on propaganda news, going full anti-vax. It's absolutely insane for the head of Health and Human Services to tell Americans that none of their vaccines their kids are getting have gone through safety tests, when in reality, all of them have been safety tested. Guys, you just gotta bear with them. Republicans are actually allergic to facts. So please, let them talk at you loudly so they think that they're winning. You don't hurt their little brains. New just in, Trump's inner circle is reportedly in meltdown mode after No King's Day's protests drowned out his birthday parade in sheer volume, energy, and meaning. While America hit the streets in city after city, Trump was wheeled out like a washed-up dictator, waving at an empty sidewalk while a rusty tank squeaked by. Aww, no one came to his Lockheed Martin-sponsored regime party. What a shame. I want to believe in the meltdown. I'm just not convinced anyone in the current Republican Party, let alone Trump's inner circle, is capable of feeling shame or the sliver of self-reflection required to realize that everyone is and should be laughing at this pathetic parade. I doubt they're shameful about what they did, but they most likely are upset that they did not get a better turnout. I wonder who they're blaming for this result. Like that's even a question. Biden, obviously. Well, if you guys reserved 2 seats at the parade and had change of plans last minute, congrats on doing your duty. And there it is. The Minnesota assassin who shot Democratic lawmakers voted for Donald Trump and was a strong Trump supporter, according to his best friend. At least 12 million people, 3.7% of the US population, took a stand against the Trump regime and fascism on Saturday. The next step is a national general strike and boycotts. When 3.5% of the whole population of a nation has begun to participate in resistance, success is inevitable. And that's why you see so many of Trump's fascist entourage crying and trying to do damage control on his flop of a parade and trying to downplay No Kings. Because it's a genuine threat to their insatiable desire for more power and more money. And even then, they're still eating themselves. Trump has now turned on Tucker Carlson. Or disagree with him and he'll attack you too. Dissent isn't allowed in calls. Somebody please explain to kooky Tucker Carlson that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I could be nice. Maybe his biggest lie yet. Don't flatten yourself, Trump. You're not nice. Trump says he has had no plans to call Minnesota Governor Tim Walz after the targeted shootings. I think the governor of Minnesota is so whacked out, I'm not calling. Why would I call him? The guy doesn't have a clue, he's a mess. So why should I be nice and call him? But why waste time? I think you're the one here that's a mess. You can't even say a coherent sentence without spewing out a taco salad. These attacks are the direct result of the dangerous political climate Donald Trump has created, purposefully and maliciously, driven by his need for division and retribution, and his thirst for power. He is trying to encourage another terrorist. Stochastic terrorism, plain and simple. Can't help but gin up rabid hate and panic, and then point at a whacked out and messed up guy who's lost control. He is just begging one of his followers to do something. Correction, to do something again. Between Jan 6th and this non-repundated response, how can anyone say Donald Trump isn't actively rooting to have his political opponents murdered? I mean, let's be entirely for real, no one can tell me that Trump isn't pro-political violence when he's been hovering around the idea of dishing out reparations to Jan 6th insurrectionists, and pardoned like all of them. Don't let Trump play the Iran card. Don't let Obama play the Iran card in order to start a war to get elected. Be careful, Republicans. And Barack Obama now will attack Iran in order to get re-elected. Here's a fun thing to do. Ask a MAGA what the population of Iran is, and then ask them to point out Iran on a blank map. I'm sure they'll have a bit of time to struggle. Hey dear viewer, if you enjoy the Bidenfreude and enjoy this gay guy reading stuff, you should totally like and subscribe, cause pressing those little buttons helps me a lot. Breaking news, it appears that the No Kings protest was the largest in US history. What do you say, MAGA? Is this a mandate? AOC says she's joining Republican Representative Massey. Surprising. In prohibiting America's involvement in Israel's war with Iran. This is not our war, but if it were, Congress must decide such matters according to our Constitution. I'm introducing a bipartisan war powers resolution tomorrow to prohibit our involvement. I invite all members of Congress to co-sponsor this resolution. Signing on. Cues the sad trumpets. The official count for Trump's military parade is 8,647. It makes Trump sulking even funnier. He was expecting a grand parade like the Soviets with huge crowds, massive tank and missile columns, huge formations of jets, and what he got was basically a single file procession of mostly vintage vehicles with a small smattering of vaguely interested attendees. His face told the whole story. Some people say he was trying not to fall asleep, but I saw Mango Mussolini very sad, fighting tears, not yawns. Ben Shapiro getting all upset at the parade coverage as though he isn't used to taking part in activities where no one comes. Breaking news! Israeli interceptor missiles appear to have malfunctioned and crashed in Tel Aviv before Iranian missiles arrived. Israel has the right to attack itself? Crazy how that one missile was actually secretly controlled by Hamas. No, that apartment that it malfunctioned and crashed into was secretly Hamas. The missile knew. This human shields thing is getting out of hand. Most, if not all things, are lost on MAGA. I mean, let's give credit where credit's due. Blatant lies aren't lost on them. But yeah, anything factual, out the window. A reminder that Donald Trump withdrew the United States from the Iran nuclear deal on May 8th, 2018 during his first term. The irony that he's screeching about making a deal now is lost on MAGA. Here's the Trump and MAGA playbook, best summarized. Screech about Obama, Biden, Democrat policy being bad. Step 2, repeal or withdraw from said policy. Step 2 creates a problem. Blame Biden, Obama, Democrats. Screech about step 3. Blaming Biden, Democrats, Obama again. 5. Come up with a solution that does nothing to solve the problem but sounds fancy. 6. Create a ton of hot air and praise around said solution. 7. Blame the failed policy, Biden, Obama, Democrats for the solution not working. Continually use the failure to blame Biden, Obama, Democrats. Lather, rinse, and repeat for the next problem. He literally openly stated, all good parts are the Trump economy and all the bad parts are the Biden economy. How can the majority of American voters listen to that dude and think, sure, let's give him another try. What's the worst that can happen, right? Why wouldn't they give him another try? He literally explained it. All the bad is Biden and all the good is Trump. Can we just use the 25th Amendment now? Yeah, things are clearly under control in the Situation Room. Unconditional surrender. 54 seconds ago. And 3 minutes ago. We know where the so-called Supreme Leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but is safe there. We're not gonna take him out. Kill. At least not for now. But we don't want missiles shot at our civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Again with the governing by tweet. All the world is hanging on his tweets, right? I'm waiting for the follow-up tweet. Crap, we lost sight of him. Somebody must have tipped him off that we knew his location. Whoever is responsible for this will be hugely punished. Stay tuned. An actual plot point from the McGrubber movie. ICE just arrested Brad Lander, the NYC comptroller and one of the leading candidates for mayor without grounds. He was conducting routine immigration court work, escorting individuals from hearings. He asked ICE for their warrant, well within his legal rights. This is political intimidation. Yeah, I think after this shit show of a term, Republicans can never say that they're freedom-loving or pro-constitution. Trump embarrassed himself and America in front of 2 world leaders yesterday. This screen grab from @Fox News is the most delicious thing I've seen in quite some time. The slumped shoulders and whiny, pouty look on Trump's face as Canadian PM Mark Carney unexpectedly steps in and cuts off Trump's press questions ahead of G7. Fuck around and find out. And on the same day, Trump just dropped all of the papers from the deal he just signed with the UK on the floor. He continues to embarrass the United States on the world stage. What was that MAGA about Biden being unfit for office and going senile? Does that just not count with your president poopy diaper? The media is also missing a huge part of this story. Trump didn't just spill the papers, he called it a deal between the US and EU. This was actually a deal between the United States and the United Kingdom. China is salivating at the opportunity to fill the gap. This will be the only empire that willingly destroyed itself. Have you not heard of Rome? The cause for the fall of the Roman Empire has been debated for centuries. Goths fleeing Huns, Germanic people invading the West, the rise of Christianity, elimination of a central government. There's a lot of potential reasons for this collapse. But Trump and the GOP are breaking it down on purpose to build their own theocratic Disneyland. We now have complete and total control over the skies over Iran. Iran has good sky trackers and other defensive equipment and plenty of it, but it doesn't compare to American-made, conceived and manufactured stuff. Nobody does it better than the good old USA. Well, a lot of people do parades better than the USA by the looks of it, but whatever helps you sleep at night. I thought the US wasn't involved. Yeah, I came to say this. So, is the US officially at war with Iran? It's a crazy timeline when you learn about a country going to war through social media. I don't recall there being any congressional approval of this. Oh no, I think if they liked it, that counts. It was in his head, he thought they did, so it happened. Large Marge calls Fox News propaganda that brainwashes people into supporting wars. I mean, it was well established that it was a propaganda channel, but now you're only calling it propaganda because you don't agree with it? Yeah, so much for double standards. Tucker also said this yesterday. Fox News brainwashed its audience into thinking MTG is not Magic the Gathering. I think MTG would be a black or red 2 or 4 goblin creature. 6B goblin if you will. And Donald Trump molding even more. I don't know what Tucker Carlson is saying, let him go get a television network and say it so that people listen. Damn, he's getting really bad. He can't even insult people right anymore. Oh wait, no, he was never actually able to do that. Got it. We can't have a Bidenfreude episode without Looney Luma, can we? Donald Trump is officially done with Tucker Carlson. Don't take money from Arabs and become blindsided by irrational hatred for Jews and Israel like Tucker did. Tucker's whole reputation just imploded because he decided to sell out to shady Arabs who bought his mouth. People actually listen to what Laura Loomer says? Not consensually they don't. But once her ideas are in your head, you're forced to bring them to term. Laura Loomer's so annoying, she can't help but get in my videos every single episode. No one can escape her stupidity. No war with Iran. Yeah, an actual good person to see on my episodes, Bernie Sanders. Definitely infinitely better than Looney Loomer. The Constitution of the United States is very clear. There is no ambiguity. It is Congress that determines whether we go to war, not the president. Trump must not take any illegal military action against Iran. Surprise, surprise, to anyone who didn't have a brain, Trump was never the peace candidate. He thinks wars are a cheat code to higher approval ratings. I mean, that was well known with his tweets about Obama. This was only ever gonna end one way. The Bush administration undertook a long-term concerted effort to lie their way into Iraq. This fucking moron is gonna bomb Iran because he wants people to fear him because his military parade was a disaster. Not all heroes wear capes. Wow, this was satisfying. Let us all live vicariously through this caller who reads Jake Tapper the Riot Act. C-SPAN caller to Tapper. So when are you going to examine what's going on with Trump? This president has been pure chaos, which indicates to me that there's something wrong with him. We will never get a straight answer on his medical exam, and yet you've gone after Joe Biden with a vengeance. So disappointed with Jake Tapper, a shameful opportunist. Jake Tapper is a fascism apologist. A week ago, I was listening to an interview with him on my local NPR, and he starts out of the gate blaming protesters for the violence in LA, as if ICE hasn't been sweeping the country. No, let me just change that real quick. Jake Tapper is a fascist. Same, CNN has really been going down the tubes. Wolf has been there since the beginning, and he should leave before he loses his dignity. I wonder why's the difference. In 2016, Minnesota police killed a black man named Philando Castile despite him disclosing that he had a legal firearm. Yesterday, Minnesota police released a white woman named Jenny Bolter despite her car being full of cash, firearms and passports just hours after her husband mass murdered people and was on the run from police. That Castile case was so fucked up. It was all on video too. He calmly explained he had a legal firearm, and the cop freaked out and shot him with his baby and partner in the car. Jesus fucking Christ. More reasons most cops shouldn't carry guns. One of the most blatant acts of shoot black man scary I've ever seen. It's textbook one of the reasons the NRA says they exist, but they were strangely silent on this one for some reason. There is nothing strange about the NRA. They're a white supremacist organization in response to the abolition of slavery. Being founded in 1871 is not a coincidence. They sponsored the gun control bill in California back when Reagan was governor. What's bigger than a ceasefire in the Middle East right now? And why the fuck is ceasefire in quotes? Publicity speaking, Emmanuel Macron of France mistakenly said I left the G7 summit in Canada to go back to DC to work on a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Wrong. He has no idea why I'm on my way to Washington, but it clearly has nothing to do with a ceasefire. Much bigger than that. Whether purposefully or not, Emmanuel always gets it wrong. Stay tuned. That fool Macron, he thought I was gonna try and save lives and use the power of America to negotiate a peace deal. Shows what he knows. I went home to scam my cult with the launch of Trump Mobile. If they want me to stop a war, then they can call me on the new gold-painted, China-made Trump phone, and I'll tell them where to buy my crypto. Oh yeah, and I need to go golfing and eat cheeseburgers. Today I learned Trump is just a lolcat. Senator Mike Lee refuses to answer questions regarding his controversial post in the wake of Minnesota shootings, or his conversation with Senator Tina Smith over the post. His aide attempted to shield our cameras as we questioned him. First of all, get the fuck out of office. Secondly, Trump is a Russian asset in every sense of the word. Trump with Mark Carney. The G7 used to be the G8. Barack Obama had a person named Trudeau, didn't want to have Russia in, and I would say that was a mistake, because I think you wouldn't have a war right now if you had Russia in. And you're not a Russian asset? The president's a Russian asset, of course he is. The brainwash smoothed their brains. The guy was a registered Republican evangelical, and his best friend said he was a Trump supporter who watched InfoWars. He was traveling around with a list of more Democrats he wanted to kill. See, we told you he was a waltz-loving lib. Are you fucking kidding me?